I came here to disappear for a while. A postcard cabin in the heart of the Catskills, off grid, disconnected. Just me and the rain. When I reached, the rain had already settled in. It poured over the trees, danced on the leaves, and whispered against the windows. It felt like the world was washing itself clean, like I was washing myself clean. I locked my phone away, tucked it into a wooden box, at least for this weekend. I wanted to be present, fully present, just me and nature. No distractions, no notifications, just stillness. I made coffee, strong and warm, the kind that hugs your hands and seeps into your soul. I opened a book, its pages heavy with stories that matched the rhythm of the rain outside. This weekend, I'm leaving it all behind. The screens, the endless notifications, a complete social media detox. Just me, the rain, and a cabin tucked away from the world. There's a certain magic in heading towards nowhere, away from the chaos, away from the noise. Outside, the world is drenched in rain, but in here, it's just warmth and quiet. I always wondered why the rain feels so comforting. Maybe it's because it's the only time the world actually pauses to listen. I think sometimes we forget how to be alone, how to find comfort in solitude. And now I'm reminded of the beauty of being still, of existing without expectation, and it's beautiful. The rain left quietly, and sunlight returned. It always does, doesn't it? After every storm, a little light finds its way back. I stepped outside, feeling the damp earth beneath me, grounded, present, alive. I walked where the world still breathes deeply, through woods that keep secrets and trails that lead to places only the patient find. I wandered beneath the sunlight. It's a different kind of a magic, both healing in its own way. Maybe we all need a place like this, a place to disconnect, to reconnect, to leave behind the noise and listen, really listen to what the nature has to say. There's a story here, not just in the rain or the cabin, but in the silence, in the whispers of the woods, the way the mist lingers a little longer than it should. It's a reminder that slow isn't empty, slow is full, it's meaningful. I found a waterfall, hidden just beyond the cabin, like a secret whispered by the trees. It felt endlessly unstoppable, unafraid of where it might land. I watched it crash against the rocks and wondered, what if we too could fall with such faith? I walked where the earth still breathes, past flowers whose only purpose is to exist beautifully, unseen, untouched. Bees floated from petal to petal, unbothered by the chaos of the world beyond. Sometimes I think we could learn a lot from flowers to bloom quietly, to trust the wind. I walked for miles through grasslands that stretched far beyond the horizon. The wind played with the blades like it had nowhere else to be. And I thought maybe peace is not something you find. Maybe it's something you walk through, something you become. The reservoir stretched out before me, still and reflective, like it held the sky captive in its depth. The river flowed with purpose, unchanged by the storms it must have seen. I sat by its edge, fingers grazing the surface, and thought maybe that's what life is meant to be. Always moving, always finding a way, no matter what stands in the path. And then there it was, the famous Catskill waterfall, tucked away like a secret too beautiful to keep. The water fell endlessly, unafraid, to the rocks below. I wondered if we could all be so brave to fall and trust the landing. As the sun began to sink, the world softened. Shadows grew longer, the light stretched thinner, and the river continued to flow. I stayed there, long after the light had gone, listening to the whisper of water against stone. Out here, the world is raw and real. Out here, you remember what it means to just be. You know what? I felt small, but in the best way. I was just another piece of this wild puzzle, unseen but significant. Out here, the world doesn't ask you to be anything but yourself, and maybe that's enough. I danced, alone and unguarded. I let my body remember what it's like to move without reason, to exist without expectation. Sometimes the only thing you need to feel alive is a little space and a little music. I came here to lose myself, but maybe I found what I'd been missing. Maybe we all need a place to disappear, if only to remember who we are when no one is watching. I came here to forget the world, but I think I remembered myself instead. Maybe we don't need much to feel whole, Just a cabin, a river, a little solitude, and the willingness to let go. The night settled in, slow and unhurried. The moon held court over the woods, draping everything in its silver glow. I listened to the call of the owl, sometime, somewhere, deep in the forest. It sounded lonely but content. I wondered if that's what solitude is, an acceptance of silence, a conversation with stillness. Morning came like it always does, quiet at first, then stretching its light across everything it could touch. I stood there, letting it warm my skin, listening to the world wake up, a world that had moved without me and would continue to do so after I left. But this time I craved more. I craved footsteps on crowded sidewalks, voices overlapping, the warmth of familiar faces. Solitude had been kind, but it had also reminded me of what it means to belong. I wore my coat like armor, slipped my hands into its pockets, feeling the warmth of familiarity. I shut the door behind me, not with sadness, but with understanding. Some places are meant to be visited, but not lived in. This was one of them, a memory now, a soft place in time that I could always return to, even if only in my mind. Thank you for joining me in this journey. I'll see you soon.